Finely made prosthetic forearm for the left side. Aluminium alloy hand with cork-lined fingers. The interior contains a steel mechanism. The arm is fitted with a leather sleeve, a worn harness and a broken control cable.
The history of prosthetics dates from antiquity, and for the most part, prosthetics, upper limb prosthetics, were made for warriors who lost a limb in combat so that they could continue to be fighters. And most of these prosthetics were made of iron or wood. The early prostheses were made one at a time, not in any mass production. They were made like an artist makes a piece of art. And who were able to get these prostheses were people who had the means, the money. World War I saw millions of men engaged in combat, which was very different than previous wars. Now we had entire countries and millions of men fighting with enormous numbers of casualties. And the volume of these casualties drove the development of specialty centers for these patients, mainly in Europe where the casualties were. And this brought about a big change in the relationship between surgeons who dealt with the wounds and the prosthetic makers. Before that time, the surgeon would treat the wound, and then the person would have to go find a prosthetic maker. World War I brought about this collaboration where the prosthetists and the surgeons.
A prosthesis is much more than a medical device. It also completes the wearer's sense of wholeness. It gives emotional comfort. And so the history of prosthetics is not just about the advancement of medical science. It's a story of human beings who miss an essential part of their self. It is a story of human beings struggling to regain a wholeness that they have tragically lost. The earliest known prosthetic is not a leg, arm, or even a fake eye. It's a toe, a big toe, belonging to an Egyptian noblewoman living around 3,000 years ago. Now, this may seem odd at first. A person can technically live their life with a big toe. But to Egyptian society at the time, your big toe was culturally important. To Egyptians, wearing sandals was an important tradition, important enough to warrant the construction of this early prosthetic. This big toe shows that prosthetics is as much about function as identity.